Some people find the most famous writer in the history of the entire planet difficult to read. Well, not in my class. I love Shakespeare. My passion, my absolute passion, is making Shakespeare's plays understandable to everybody. The key is what I call a Shakespeare toolkit, and this is a collection of key terms and concepts that we use to make Shakespeare understandable and relevant to the students. The first 4 weeks are really, really important. We perform what I would call a bit of a heart surgery on the plays. We look at the language, the building blocks that give life to his plays. Imagine a man with the head of an ass, a king whose words are his most powerful weapon, and imagine a country where men's heads grow beneath their shoulders. Imagine also themes of love, sex, death, friendship, betrayal, and also of the big two, good and evil. It's all in there, but I do have to warn you that some of it's not actually that pretty. If you want to compare the kind of horrors that Shakespeare writes about, think about the terrible rapes that have been reported in India, think about the horrors of the civil war in Syria. So those things wouldn't have actually surprised Shakespeare, because he had in fact already written about them.
But for my sport and profit, I hate them more. And it is thought abroad that twixt my sheets is done my office. I know not if it be true, but I, for mere suspicion in that kind, will do as if for surety. He holds me well. The better shall my purpose work on him. Cassio's a proper man. Let me see now. To get his place and to plume up my will in double knavery. How? Let's see.
It's all in the language. That's the first thing that you need to know. You need to look at his language and find patterns in it and try and decode it. In many ways, learning Shakespeare is like learning a second language, and that can sometimes be scary for some people. But I encourage my students to take risks, and I encourage them to be courageous in confronting things that are unfamiliar, that may be a little bit difficult, and perhaps that they've never encountered before. Some of the terms in our Shakespeare toolkit that we use are prose, rhyming verse, iambic pentameter, caesura, that's my favourite, decorum, and also soliloquy.
Devise his death, ravish a maid or plot the way to do it, accuse some innocent and forswear myself, set deadly enmity
between two friends, make poor men's cattle break their necks, set fire on barns and haystacks in the night, and bid the owners quench them with their tears. Oft I have digged up dead men from their graves and set them upright at their dear friends' doors, even when their sorrows almost were forgot. And on their skins, as on the bark of trees, have with my knife carved in Roman letters, "Let not your sorrow die, though I am dead."
Found over the course that even though the texts are 400 odd years old, they don't seem dead or, dusty. They're present and alive and crackling with energy.
I had a weirdly profound revelation in Shakespeare, and I remember the date and time that it happened. It was 3:05 on August the 19th. And I realised that if you learn to imagine the life of someone complexly, the life of someone who's 400 years dead, you realise that in all of the important ways, they live the same life that you live now.
The best part of the course for me was the fact that we were never just told what certain aspects of the plays meant. We were always given the opportunity to make those discoveries for ourselves.
I think the thing that is about the course that's very powerful for students is that they end up falling in love with Shakespeare. They fall in love with a world that is oddly similar to, yet very strangely different from, at the same time, the world that we live in. They become genuinely enthralled by Shakespeare's poetic skill, by his artistry, and also by his insights into what makes people tick. The Shakespeare course is really about cultivating minds that want to know, but also minds that have the skills and confidence to go and find out. Not all love affairs can do that, but one with Shakespeare can.